was brought up the hard way. And you know, my dad believes like you don't work hard, like you have to work hard. On the internet, something you are doing is wrong. If you want to make money, you need to work hard. You know, but I always tell him, you don't work hard anymore, you work smart, right? That this a million ways to make money. You don't have to work as hard as you used to before. And you know, I see him now praying for him, getting old. But it's not just it wrong. But I can come home one day and say, you guys are not cooking for me. The last time it's what this thing that I ate. I don't want to eat it again. I want to eat something else. And you have to drop money now. Then we all go quiet. But then it's just this. And my mom, growing up, at first she became when I was younger. I asked, "Are you my mother? Are you my mother?" I'll tell my daddy to take me back to my mommy. And you know, you know, that was the point where she actually stopped beating me. She wondered why I think I was 4. She was like, "I'm this child at 4 years. Question if I'm a mom. I have that doing something wrong." And from there, henceforth, my mom doesn't touch us. The only time she will touch you is when she says the highest insult my mom will give is, "You're stupid. You're stupid." That's the highest thing to do. She doesn't really, she's not really physical right now. But she prays for me. And then the mom that I used to know back then, like she's very strong. She do so many things. Now she gets tired, and I just want to be there for her. And she, um, she's like, I gave a test. I saw a post on Instagram one time where I was scammed of 100,000 that in January. I tried to buy something off a trip, you know, page on Instagram, and the person came me 100K. My mom had asked me the day before for money for something in a business, and I said, I don't have. I didn't get it. Leave me alone. I need to focus on my own life. You know, I didn't give her the money, and I got scammed. I have my children that I got scammed of 100K, but she asked me for 25K. I didn't give her. Okay, she don't call me the next day. They didn't get it. Someone stole from me, and it was me. And I think that's the person who can return my money back with her bag. Like the person begged me, I say, I'm sorry, take your money back. And it just my mom said I did not let the person go in that room. I held the person down. And that's the kind of mother I want to. And so it's gone from the beating, you know, being that child that they never take your advice, but now they'll come to you and say, what should we do about your sister? What should we do about your brother? My dad wanted to get to it and then what should we do about if you can get good idea gave me? You're asking me. That's what that's good. That's good. Anyway, so that's how it became all the time. And I just want to love them more. I want to dance with them or give them anything that they did not have. Right? I want to love. Even sometimes I feel like, can I see? I want to be their mom or dad right now. I really do. So yeah, that's it. I'm sorry I almost cried. Oh my goodness. Sorry. All right, thank you everyone. Thank you so much for sharing that. Hello everyone. My name is Philip Everyone. All right. Oh, that's right. Anyway, when she was speaking, I realized that I needed I'm a triplet. And I'm a first girl. Sorry, I'm a triplet. Ah, gosh, I'm a triplet. So I am the first girl. And it just so my mom just like just push something that you're not going to anymore. She just it's the power. You know, and when the first I just realized that my mom was at the age of 4. I grew up in very different home. Excuse me. So what did I take of the book? Then I realized that when it went on and on, I ended up like that off then also you could get a substance, but it can be. So what grandmother so when I got to going to another part of it, what to saw how my friends soon had to get along, come around with this big things. And then when she what's your head? And all that. I think that I'm eating right. So every visiting day I would always visit. My friends eating one I was always so after every visiting day I would rather go to right? And if I told them like this, because I do not do this, so I didn't have to bother the education. What I had was mother and hospital. Thank you very much. Because I know that I'm able to work. But well, but the bonus was like it's a good very very good how I would rather talk to you than do you think about that it's epic. I mean, like I don't hate that. And you know that I realized that she becomes it's a work much so I now know this I didn't think so I was looking for this for my school home for school mother. So they were expression of mothers whatever I would bring here. She could be like an all of but I never experienced that but she wanted to make it. I did not trust it. Like, when I said to get against jail, my mom would have that. And that's why I call myself a very good having one month. I tell myself that right my age. And now this is what that I do is very once I don't think this um now my dad's race of transitivity symptom of what I saw it but I think it's fine. My life was not fixed, but I told why she did it. And she had to say, stop doing this. I come up with it to them. So in a sense, one daughter and the only daughter that she has ever very, very good. It's a best. Right. I'm trying to be there for her. So when she's in a store, I would begin to sell for her. It's learning that that's where I am now. But what you do very small partner, it's every compliment. Have fun on it rather than it. So thank you so much. I need to hear that. Um, first of all, I'm very emotional person, and I raised my hand for specific share before. I felt that mission and my experience, I work at this different things. So my mom has not been there in my entire life, and there's a reason. My mom has missed countless birthdays. Even when I started to YouTube, my mom didn't know. When I started dating, I didn't have my mom there to give me advice. I didn't have anybody to look to, and that was because when I was 7, my mom had to leave the country for greener pasture. So she left when I was 7. My brother was just barely 2 years old. And I haven't seen my mom up until today. So it's been 20 something years of living without my mom. Um, so yeah. So it's my aunt had to raise me, which was my mom's elder sister. So I grew up with my fellow family members. I'll get together. And it's been tough over the years because at some point I didn't have contact with my mom because then I think then was the era of BlackBerry and stuff. So um social media calls like WhatsApp and the rest do not exist. So for the first few years that my mom traveled, I think I didn't speak to her because I was just very young and I didn't have access to the phone. So I would just get the message through my aunties and everything like that. And growing up, I was a very strong person, very resilient. I have a mind of my own. And because I knew that I was in an environment that I was very sure that I wasn't loved, you know, my dad wasn't there, my mom wasn't there, I was really strong. Extended family members who didn't really care about Basile, how it was going for me at school, my personal struggles or whatnot. And there were times where, you know, they would always, not even times, literally every time, like, they would always relay information about me to my mom. And trust me, it's never always possible. So my mom had no choice but to always rely on information that was being passed to her by her sister about me. And I was supposed to be this black sheep and all that. And so at some point, my mom and I literally became at loggerheads. Trust me, there are times where I think I disowned my mom about 2 times in my life. Yeah. And I think there were times my mom disowned me too. And there were times where we didn't talk at all. And it was because I started to feel like, do you not know me? Do I not know you? Like, how would you believe the word of your sister or your family members over your daughter? You don't know what I'm going through. And I would always be traumatized about, is it because your mom is out of the country? Is it because your mom is in so place and everything like that? It's been tough because not having seen my mom, not having grown up with her, not being able to run to her. I've never eaten my mom's food, not that I can recall anything, but she's been away my entire life. And I had to at some point try to find a way to forge the relationship with her because I knew I needed her. And the perfect replica of my mom. See my mom is seeing anybody tell me that this one. And I had to just find a way to break through that vicious cycle of information and the narrative that has been driven about me to my mom. Because my mom is a selfless person. They put that picture on me, and I'm just the same way to her. I'm my mother's daughter. And regardless of everything, I'm just thankful because my mom didn't stop making sacrifices for me. She didn't stop, doing things. She didn't stop working days, nights, double shift, triple shift, just so she could provide. Even though, those narratives kept driving over the years and everything like that. And I faced a lot of condemnation between my family members, being the only person that went to the polytechnic and others went to uni, even though they didn't actually enter uni through the right through the front door, and then, there's always, you know, and then there was also the aspect of, um, at some point, I used to be a Muslim because I was born into a Muslim family. And then I fortunately went to a Christian school. I changed necessarily for some reasons. And then I found Jesus, you know, and I became very fervent. I became very fervent. So for a family where both my mom and my dad said my dad's actually an allergy, like, the company where there are strong Muslims and everything, I became like a thorn in their flesh. Like, oh, my grandma is later, but she'd always say how she's always being insulted by all her fellow clerics that her grandchildren are going to church and whatnot. And I decided to just like forge my own path because I knew that nobody was going to forge it for me. I didn't have my dad because my parents got divorced when I was very young. So I just knew that I had to forge my own path. And I have a younger brother who is 6 years down the line, and I knew that, it was not a mistake that I came at the first from because I used to say that if my brother came before me, I think my life would have turned out so good because between myself and my brother, I think I'm the stronger one, I think I was born for this, so, and to God be glory, over the years, my mom and I learned, I think at some point I was able to get my own phone. At some point, I started to steal my freedom little by little within my family. There were even times where I wanted to actually get married at a very early age, just so I could break out of family house. It was that bad, actually. And they were trying to actually draw my shine in the sense that I knew there was something about me, and I'm sure they knew it too. But they were always trying to drag the narrative to make it seem like I was a black sheep, and I always kept fighting back because the only thing I knew I have right now that I knew I cannot be confident about is my resilience. I am a fighter. I would always fight, and as I pushed through poly, at some point my mom was out of the picture because she was going through some stuff. And then I was almost about to drop out from school. I was in my final year. That same year, I also had surgery for something. I knew I excluded my family members because I knew that they just really care on the surface and they don't really care that deep and everything. And even when they knew what my mom was going through at the time, unknown to me, they still didn't come around and use the opportunity to say, whatever they care all the lost time, let's come around this girl and everything. How I was spending in school, nobody knew. Thankful for just a very few people around me who said, no, you cannot drop out. You are too bright to drop out. You cannot postpone. And thankfully, I thank God I did this because the next year was COVID. I would have been stuck in school at final year. After having gone through surgery and, at some point, I've always worked on things regardless. I've always hustled. I'm a hustler. Always trying to find my way to make sure that I'm not a dependable adult. We have like a family in church up on the island, but all my other colleagues always go there and pick up. But I never went there one day to pick anything. And it got to the point where my auntie was saying, how is it that you're not always coming to come and pick something from the shop when you're going to school? How are you spending and all that? And I'm like, I'm fine, I'm okay. But I know that that question was not from a place of care, but from a place of how exactly are you managing surviving and you're not depending on us? And I started to fight back my freedom little by little. I started to take back the narrative. And over time, when I was able to have personal access to my phone without having to go through my aunties, and then the era of WhatsApp call and everything came in, WhatsApp messages, I started to come with both my mom over time. We started to talk, and it became easy because the most we've ever had, or we shared the most bond we've ever had, has been done over the phone. I've been saying something here to tell my mom. So it's been tough. There are times where we fight at each other. There are times where we don't understand each other. There are times where she's even too busy, wrapped up in her own world, that she doesn't even have time for me per se. And then there's my brother who also has his own excesses and everything, and then it's lost for her and everything. But I thank God because it has gotten to a point where my mom is able to see that she can depend on me. You know, just last week or 2 weeks ago, there was something we went through in January that was not funny at all. And it was a case of fraud and whatnot. And I think because it was my mom, I'm like, they're not going to go through this alone. And I'm like, I'm going to go through it with you. Even though it was going to cost me literally all my finances and everything like that. But something in me was not prompting me to get angry at my mom. Like, why would you make such a without consulting me? And I didn't speak to her for like 2 days. I ignored and it was intentional. And it was on a Sunday and she tried to reach out to me. I was in church. I wasn't picking her calls, but she didn't know I was in church. So when I got back after church, trying to call, I got a message from her and I got a voice on my mom broke down. She was just saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And that was because
I ignored her for 2 days. I'm just happy and thankful that my mom and I have been able to transcend over all that vicious cycle over the years. And we're not there yet, but I know we're doing okay. We're doing okay. We share everything, we talk about everything. She asks me for advice, and now she learns to listen to me and depend on me. And I couldn't trade my mom for anything in the world. Thank you. Give her a round of applause once again. Oh, I think the atmosphere has changed. Can you tell? Maybe it's my way they watch. Please give yourself a round of applause. Give the sister next to you a warm hug. Say I understand. Because nobody gets it. All got very well though. Afam has struggled as a firstborn daughter. It's not easy. It's not easy. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Okay, right about now, we're going to start with the final session. If you think that this competition has brought me is not ready for what final session is going to be, we have tissue. Please don't do art here. If you want to go out there, go outside. There is space. Just being able to speak life into a fellow sister with you. But you don't know what to do. From mental health conversation, money, there are so many families that are struggling financially. And you as a first one daughter, you'll be surprised that some first one daughters are paying their fees. It's not just a one-off. You are literally, it has become your responsibility. And you don't have to be a baby girl. Someone saw me outside and like, you're still making hair extensions and reaching bomb bomb. I feel sorry. Everything is pricey. So there's just so much that you are going through as a first one daughter. So we're going to have our finance, you're ready for us. Are you ready for us? So we're going to do something fun. Can you hear me? So when we have them come up here, we're going to say, to they sit down, you have to say, the winning thing. Okay, Titan and India. Yeah, Gem girl, Wakanda. This one, they've got to buy this. They are not here. Wakanda. Ruby. This is Ruby. They're all tired. Ruby. Ah, so, Diamond. So, I did not forget now. I'm just whining you for. Diamond, call. So, one of these, you know, call. I play as call. Are they here? Where are they? All right, now. So, we're going to have our panelists that will come up now. We have Mrs. Joy Okuda. She's a passionate project manager with over 15 years of work experience, gracefully teaching God's word, a wife, a mother, and a firstborn daughter. Can I hear you? Yana. Yeah, yeah, hey. Oh, yeah, wait. I'll give you a 2/10. You try. First try, you say, first try, and then let's see the second one. Okay, coming up next, we have Mrs. Taye Adelawa. She's a chartered accountant with 23 years post qualification, a strong passion for developing others and those in need, a great firstborn daughter, a songwriter, and a pastor. Oh, yeah, wait. It's even plastic. I know hear you very well, though. It's plastic. But let's continue. Also, we have Mrs. Adedoyin Jayetini. Miss, I beg your pardon. A co-founder of Palms Avenue, a communications advisor with 11 years experience. She got featured in 2022 as the top 100 most inspiring women in Nigeria. Ladies and my ladies, okay? It's like if about period. Like if about period. Mrs. Shaw, are you ready for us? Okay. Also, we have Oyinja Akinyemi. Are you ready? Yeah. say no. She's a chartered accountant, currently the head of equity capital markets for Africa region in Standard Bank Group, a wife, mother, a sister, and a highly graced firstborn daughter. Okay, 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 okay. Oh, don't worry, don't worry. Okay, so let's have Mrs. Show up here. Mrs. Show, where are you? Okay, your chair is coming. All right. So we're also going to have one mic to the audience or to my ladies. A woman that needs no introduction. A woman of the moment. I cannot hear the eye. Are you still sitting down? Are you still sitting down? The one and the only Mrs. Schumacher Shotawalata. Yes, yes, yes. Come on, come on. Are you impressed? Are they trying? They are trying. Oh, yeah, give yourselves a round of applause. All right. Thank you so much. Our DJ. All right. Okay, let me just stand here. Or I'll just sit down if need be. Can we all hear me? All right, thank you. So we're going to have this final session for let's say 20 to 30 minutes. And of course, we're going to take questions from the audience here. If you have questions, I feel like, this question is too heavy. If I'm going at like, you be looking at me like, this is not a question. Write down your question. Do you understand? Write down your question and just pass it to where are you, where are you, where are you? Okay, pass it to the lady wearing white. Yes, she did. Just pass it to me or pass it to her. Pass it to anyone who can. Why are you laughing? What's funny? All right. Okay, so please, you feel free to answer any question if you feel like if you feel led to probably chipping away any of the questions. So the first question is very interesting now because how we feel like God, as for this life. That's me, I'm glad for this. Are we really people, but there's actually a grace that comes within the person. Let's talk about that for a bit. You know that God is aware. God knows the positioning. Like God usually knows it all. So how would you say that? Being that God, what's the grace? What if you can put it word, which I think anyone can hear in our middle, if you can put it word, what are you dealing with this person with? How would let anyone? Hmm. Can you hear me? Okay. So before we go, right, I want to really celebrate every woman who's here on this panel. Can we put our hands together again for that? Right. Um, for today, call them big sisters. There are big sisters, right? After this session, you're going to see the caliber of wisdom, right? That will come out of the session. So I want you to open your mind, open your heart, receive and ask as many questions as possible. This final session, we're going to ask questions right after, but it's more of everyone just sharing. I'm a big fan of storytelling. I believe that the secret of men are in their story. You can come and give notable book, but really and truly, how you are able to get to that place that you are in, which is still in your story. There are some principles that you must have applied, and as we share people's stories, they're able to pick out things that can help us as well, right? So everyone will share their story, and after that, then I'm going to question, you comment, your experiences, and things like that. Are we good? All right. Yarfari Yarfari is Hausa, firstborn daughter, I think firstborn daughter. Yarfari. I'm going to speak to it from the angle of the scripture too. The Bible tells us about two different kinds of firstborn. Adam was the firstborn. Adam misused his position, he lost the glory, and his actions had a repercussion on the entirety of mankind. Jesus, the Bible says, was the firstborn from the dead. So he came and he brought life, he came to restore every single thing that we had lost on account of Adam. And we have Jesus now too. I mean, the Bible says, looking up to Jesus, who is the author picture of our faith. He has set an example before us, he has set the precedence for us, and we can walk in steps. And so I feel like, for first one, it's also very similar. So whether you like it or not, there is precedence that you are setting in your family one way or the other. For the rest of the rest of your siblings, for those that have younger siblings, and even for your parents, one way or the other. Now, I had five siblings, so I'm the second born for the first girl. My brother and I, there were 11 months and 6 days between us. Yeah, so I have a younger sister, a younger brother, so there were five of us. And somehow growing up, you know, I always considered myself to be someone of strength, someone that just receives strength, from God. I consider myself strong. And I realized that even in growing up, my dad, many times kind of looked up to me. I had an elder brother, but there were many things that just kind of defaulted to me as a first girl. Responsibilities, taking care of my siblings, getting things done in the house, even in the way I conducted myself, my academics, my choices, and stuff like that. And I think that has also gone a long way to also, enhance my younger ones, the three younger ones I have after me. Such that I look back now and my younger ones tell me, oh, it's because, only that did this, because only that did that, and stuff. And, it gives me joy, it gives me great joy to be able to set the pace in one way or the other. I mean, of course, there are many things that we still glean from the ones that are after you and all that. But for the fact that we have been able to go ahead and some of the things that you had experienced, we didn't have to experience. Like many people have said here, I chopped it, big time. And I realized that it was the first two that stopped all the beating on behalf of the ones that were after, you know. So like I said, I think it's there's grace for it, there's strength for it. And you see yourself as someone that God has, just like Jesus, that someone God has put in a place to kind of set the pace for the people that are coming up. Right. With the house. And that's you have a summer thing that you do, like I saw the older than that.
or maybe she was young. I can't remember. I mean, she had a problem. And we went home. She was from my village. We went home for one occasion, and then when we were going back, they said she wasn't doing that. I mean, I thought she was happy with us. I thought we were all happy together. Why is she not coming? So, my parents were concerned. But when we go back home, I just think to myself, what will this girl do that if she doesn't be able to do in the house? So I think at that point, I just embraced that idea that really we don't need anybody in the house. I should be able to do whatever I also feel like they do. So I think I just naturally embraced being with my friends. So that makes my story a bit different from people struggling because I just saw it as an opportunity. But back to the question, about meeting the grace, definitely every provision that we are called to, that God, that we did not elect ourselves, you know, that we did not choose, there is a grace for it. There is a grace for it. And we just need to lean to God in so that we can embrace the grace that comes with that space. One of the things that, growing up, I knew that the vision had very high expectations. Interestingly, that did not frustrate or anyway. That became a drive. So those expectations of, being that God born, set that example, it wasn't like, I didn't see that pressure. I saw it like much is expected and then live up to it, and that was just what I did. So for people, just kind of expected to do. And like I said, there's a grace for every person in the room. There is a grace for it. So what we need to do is to have a different paradigm about the same situation. We are like that. What you're facing, somebody else is facing it. Why am I the same two people can go through the same situation and one person is all worked up and the other person is jolly about it. One person is thriving in it, the other person seems depressed and way down like it. So I have realized that it's not so much of even the things that we have had to go through, but seeing fresh things from a different light, helps to just make the journey the Lord in the eye. As the man thinks in his heart, so he is. I mean, one of the reasons we have to let them go. But you know that without even lifting a finger, you can be very tired in your house. Just thinking about the work that I have to do it, I have to, you've not done anything. You're already tired. Why? Because in your mind, you have been working that thing out and this person has got up in our mind about the idea of God. So you then realize that somebody else in your face supposed to do the same thing. Just steps in and you. He's not thinking about it. He's just moving and doing the work and everything is just knowing it. So it's having a fresh perspective and not looking for because it allows us to see things again with active perspective, active relaxation, everything. Hello everyone. So I'm glad to be here. I got here today and was like, what am I supposed to say? Yeah, what is it all about? But as I was listening to everybody, particularly the last piece, thinking that, I don't know, Holy Spirit said it to me